And welcome to another edition of Life Outdoors. I am your host, Chris Reckling. Life Outdoors is now sponsored by Ocracoke Tourism Development Authority. Ocracoke, miles from the mainstream. And today we're going to take you outdoors in the great city of Virginia Beach to look at something that's really incredible, that's making a difference for so many different people in so many different ways. And it's the beauty of public art in the Vibe District. Joining us today here on Life Outdoors is Kate Pittman, the Vibe Creative District Executive Director. Kate, good to see you and welcome back to Life Outdoors.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so before we jump into the 8th annual Vibe Mural Fest, which is pretty amazing, talk about the Vibe District, how it came to be, and let's start from the very beginning, because what you've done is taken an area of Virginia, of the ocean front, and really made it a creative place.
Yeah, arts districts all across the country are really about revitalizing neighborhoods and giving them new life and bringing back vibrancy. So that's exactly what was planned back in 2015 when a nonprofit was started by two local citizens, Andrew Fine and Laura Wood. And then the city of Virginia Beach adopted an ordinance to help with the government side of that plan. And together, the citizens are working with Virginia Beach City Council to make a change in our community and better it for the good of all citizens. So now 10 years later, we're celebrating lots of milestones in the Vibe District.
Let's talk about the Vibe District. If you're not familiar with the area, talk about where it's located and think just down from the convention center.
Yeah, exactly. If you're heading to Virginia Beach via 264 East, we are right there when you come off of the expressway. We are from 22nd Street over to 17th Street between the convention center and the sports center, all the way east to the boardwalk. And that's kind of a central core. You can't really get through the resort without traveling through the Vibe District now. And we're about 15 city blocks. We have over 500 works of public art and about 75 great small local businesses there in that neighborhood. And it's become a real cultural hub for our city.
How will you know when you're in the Vibe District?
Yeah, I think your eyes will tell you. All the sensations will take over. That's a great question. And there are banners. You'll see art, large-scale murals. You'll see sidewalk art and crosswalks. Even our parking meters are painted. There's something different on every corner of the Vibe District. And in addition to what we do on the public side, all of our local businesses are adding quirky character to their storefronts with local artists intervening in their menu boards and their signage that's outside. So it really has a different look and feel than much of the other areas of the resort.
And how does this play off of what's happening there at the convention center, at the sports complex, the new dome, Atlantic Park? Everything just seems to be coming together.
Yeah, that central part of the city of Virginia Beach Resort, it faltered for many decades, and it has had a boom in the last 10 years. The convention center and the sports center bring as many as 1 million people per year to the Central Beach area. And again, they have to travel through Vibe to get to their hotels at the oceanfront and to go explore the beach. So we are very much a part of the visitor experience. And now with Atlantic Park coming online, we're looking at a world-class surf park, lots of new restaurants and retail, and of course the Dome, which is an amazing concert venue. So Vibe is right there in the middle of it all.
Yeah. So we're seeing some of the works of art for the 8th annual Vibe Mural Fest. Small, medium, large.
Yes.
This is a very big mural right here.
Yeah, we have some that are 3 stories, we have some that are 2 stories, and some smaller walls, which we typically reserve for earlier artists in their career or even student artists. We have had teen artists before. This year we had a student from Virginia Wesleyan College participate, and we want those students to work side by side with our professional artists and have the same experience. So those students and artists, they are each recording audio tour stops, they are writing biographies about themselves, they are putting in their renderings and going through zoning approvals. It's a whole process behind the scenes to get to this beautiful artwork that you see on the wall.
Okay, and this one's on the fire station on 17th Street. 10 murals in 10 days.
Yes.
But you guys had a little bit of weather.
We did have a little bit of rain delays.
And this was very ambitious by
Yes.
Matthew.
Yes, and there you are giving him a hand. Matt Jackson over at the Virginia Beach Fire Department had dozens of volunteers. Of course, the fire department is a beloved part of our community. And so we had men and women in uniform show up to help paint. We had citizens and family supporters of the fire department come help.
Talk show hosts.
Exactly, talk show hosts.
Kids.
And the great part is that anyone is welcome, right? And so people can walk up and offer to put a few strokes of paint on the wall, or just bring the artist a sandwich, or just offer them a compliment. Hey, keep going. It's looking great.
Look at that one. You got the pier there. You had King Neptune in the barrel.
Yeah.
So cool. And I love the surf ocean theme with many of the murals down there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's part of our DNA and our identity. We are a resort town. People love the ocean. We do often see a lot of ocean-inspired art, which is true to the aesthetic of where we live. And then you'll see some pieces that challenge the norm as well. You know, that piece on the side of the fire department is hyper real and abstract. It includes, you know, images from historical references, modern images, and it's a real representation of that community. And so it's really exciting to see how they unfold. Here's one of our student artists painting, you know, a little bit simpler of a design, but we really want to champion artists at every level and meet them where they are. So not everyone can operate that 55-foot boom lift, right, up and down
By
3
Tessa
stories.
and
Tessa and Katie, yep. And, you know, you'll see a lot of positive messages, too. This mural ends up saying, seize the day, the world is your oyster, and no grit, no pearl. Often in public art, you will see lots of positive message, inspirational messages for people who are viewing the art to take it away.
Okay, so and it takes it takes business owners, it takes a lot of coordination, it takes artists. How does it come about?
Yeah, so it's my pleasure to get to work with business owners all year round, and some of them have artists they already know they want to work with. Others have no idea what to do, and they say, "Oh, help us through this process." But each of those businesses identifies with being in the arts district and really wants to champion the local artists. It draws new businesses and customers to them, and so each of the businesses that has participated in the Mural Festival all 8 years, hands down, come out of it feeling really connected to their community, having found new customers, and then it lives there all year round. And so we see thousands upon thousands of people coming to tour and walk around and find these murals all year long.
And I was able to speak to Matt there multiple times through the process. He was thrilled that he got new business.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Matt Jackson is a Virginia Beach student grad, you know, and has been a very talented artist working for years. But this is his first time in the Mural Festival, and it sheds a new light and it promotes those artists to a new demographic. And really brings a lot of attention to them. So yes, many of these artists, while they are working, they are receiving job offers all week from other businesses. They are getting compliments from people they've never met, and they're being invited to do other things in our community, which is great.
Yeah. Okay. So not only is it great, it's fulfilling in so many ways to be able to see public art. You're saying life outdoors. Well, yes, this is outdoors. It's outdoor art, and it adds so much vitalism and life and vitality to a district like the Vibe District in Virginia Beach. So we're going to take a short break now, and we'll come back with Kate and talk more about what this means to people who visit and live there at the ocean front. So stick around, everyone. You're watching Life Outdoors.
Visit Ocracoke and step into a world where every moment feels like a getaway. Savor fresh seafood straight from the sea, stroll along sun-kissed beaches, and let the gentle breeze carry your cares away. Paddle calm waters, explore hidden trails, and discover the unique stories that make this island unforgettable. Explore a village where the pace is gentle, and every corner holds a story. Whether it's a beach campfire or a quiet walk, Ocracoke offers moments that linger long after you leave. Slow down, you're here. Plan your escape at visitocracokenc.com.
And welcome back to Life Outdoors. I'm your host, Chris Reckling. Today we're talking to Kate Pittman with the Vibe District down there at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. And we already kind of covered a little bit about the newest works of art down there at the 8th Annual Vibe Mural Fest. So what is it about public art? Because Virginia Beach isn't alone. You see public art throughout Norfolk and Chesapeake and Newport News and Hampton. It seems to be popping up everywhere. When you go around the country and visit other areas, you're going to see art everywhere. What is going on, Kate?
Yeah, I think public art becomes a visual representation of the people that live and visit in those areas. So in Virginia Beach, we are no different than our friends in Norfolk and Newport News, and even Suffolk now has adopted an arts district. It's a real tool and a way to connect with people in a really interesting and exciting way. Public art is free and open to everyone every day of the year. You don't need to buy a ticket. You don't need to pre-plan. You just show up and you get to walk around and explore and enjoy and see visual representations of artists and people who've come from all over the world in many cities. And in Virginia Beach, we really try to champion Virginia-based artists. That is a big part of our mission. We want to grow our talent up from our local community and give them opportunities to explore other cities. So when people come to Virginia Beach, they're seeing a real reflection of artists who live and work here all year round. It's a really beautiful thing.
How do you choose the artists, and how do you choose the walls, and are you running out of walls?
No, we are not running out of walls. Great question, though. We have about 80 murals now, actually over 80 murals, and we have in total over 500 works of art. And so if the artwork is on public property, which would be the sidewalks, the roads, the parking meters, those things are governed by our city entity, and there's a public art committee that looks at those every month of the year and reviews those pieces and selects those artists. If it's on private property, then we're working with the business owners, and I call it like Christmas. It's like a gift to the community to see what our business owners choose to put on their walls. And it becomes a really interesting part of the culture of that neighborhood to see what those tastes and flavors and interests are that get reflected back to the community.
It also takes willingness from the business to allow this to happen. How has the business district there in the Vibe District embraced what's happening?
We are so grateful to have our small local business community supporting everything that we do, similarly to the support from the city of Virginia Beach. You can't make these things happen alone. The Vibe District doesn't own anything. We're a nonprofit that helps create these relationships and these opportunities, and we don't have walls of our own to put murals on. So we are constantly relying on and building those relationships with the both public and private side. These murals are a real draw to visitors to come explore, and cities often see throughout the nation, actually, a really increased impact on real estate values, on tourism dollars being spent, on locals feeling civic pride and community in these spaces, and so that is the power of public art.
And we're talking walls, murals, crosswalks, fences, sidewalks, utility boxes, windows, storage containers, parking meters.
Yes.
What cannot be drawn on? I mean, if it's a space, you're going to find the artist to take care of it.
Exactly. We are going to try to find interesting ways to make people find something unexpected and delightful on every corner. Part of our nonprofit mission in the early days, when there wasn't much to look at, was, okay, what's a goal? We want to be able to stand in one spot in any area of the Vibe District, and if you turn around in a circle, you see something exciting in all directions. It might be a sidewalk square that's painted like a squid. It might be a parking meter that looks like a mermaid. It could be a big wall mural of dogs holding hammers, building a vibe sign. There's just something kind of quirky and interesting and colorful, attracting your eye and making you want to walk and explore.
And Kate, there are murals outside the Vibe District at the oceanfront. So it just keeps spreading, right?
It's a beautiful thing. Absolutely. You have to kind of identify an area like the Vibe District to start small and really try to populate with a very, close intention and track that activity and those results. But then what you see is this beautiful bleed out effect. And it is changing the way that other business owners are thinking about their business and their community and how they can also have that dialogue with the public. So we're seeing murals spread out all around the Vibe District. Public art is now very much a conversation of business owners at the resort and how they can have a positive influence on their community.
From abstract to realism to shapes and everything. You guys will put it on the wall. It has to be approved first. Talk about some of the artists, because it seems like there's no lack of artists. And you try to start in Virginia, you try to start local, but they come from all over, right?
Yeah, we have had over 700 artists apply from all over our country and even internationally. I think we're up to maybe 13 to 15 different countries where we've seen artists apply to our database on our website. And that is an open door. We invite anyone who has any interest in doing anything in the Vibe to join our database, which is on the Contact Us tab of our website. And then that is how we reach out to you for each new opportunity. When there's a call for parking meters, we're going to send it out to our database and say, okay, hey, you're an artist and you said you wanted to do something. Here's this paid opportunity that we're offering to you. Come sign up and show us what you can do. And then that's how these artists get these opportunities. Sometimes they got to start small and they work their way up to these big walls. Other times, they're coming to us with decades of experience and they just jump right in.
Decades of experience, and every time I've talked to the artists, because this is not the first time we've done this before, they're all thrilled to be doing it. I mean, but it's challenging because there's a bit of a time frame. You're up on you're on a forklift. It's windy, it's rainy, it's chilly, it's cold. And Matt was working around the clock. I mean, I went by there last weekend and it was 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
I mean, they're working
They
long,
are
hard
putting
hours.
their heart and soul into this, absolutely. And it is challenging. You're working in the elements. You've got pop-up rainstorms. It might be super hot. It might be cold and windy. Painting outside is not a kid's sport. It is challenging. And these artists really bring a level of commitment that is unparalleled. And they are so excited to have this platform and this opportunity to be interviewed by, news media, to be talking to dozens of people that they've never seen before. Many times artists work alone and in isolation.
Right.
And so this kind of community-driven effort is something that they don't get to do very often, and it is very much a beloved activity in the Vibe District.
And we're talking walls here. Concrete block, cinder block is one thing. But brick is hard to work with when you're doing the crevices and the mortar joints. It's not easy.
And these are old buildings. Don't forget that the central resort area is part of the oldest part of our city. And so many of these buildings, they can date back to the 20s, the 40s, the 50s. So these are not very forgiving surfaces. So the artists are doing lots of beautification, and it can sometimes be very challenging. But the beautiful thing that ends in the end result is these just larger than life artworks that people can come and take pictures of, and bring their families, bring their friends. Even just walking their pets through the Arts District is a really healthy way to get outdoors, and provides a lot of mental health relief. It provides a lot of entertainment value, and just quality of life.
Outdoors. Okay, so we're going to take a short break now, and we're going to talk about this. There's plenty of public art outdoors there in the Vibe District, but there's lots of other things that you can do to enjoy. So stick around for that. We'll talk more with Kate Pittman from the Vibe District. Welcome back to Life Outdoors. I'm your host, Chris Reckling, alongside Kate Pittman with the Vibe District. We've told you all about the latest Mural Fest that's beautifying the oceanfront area down there at the Vibe District. And we've told you the difference that it makes, but there's so much more going on right now. Every weekend there's something going on, whether it's the Old Beach Market or the VB Flea. Talk about some things that happen on the weekends down there, Kate.
Yeah, we celebrate First Friday every month, where there are exhibition openings, walking tours, and outdoor events. Every Saturday morning, we have markets with the Old Beach Farmers Market, the Art and Eco Market, and once a month, the VB Flea, which attracts a lot of attention. And then we have other kind of pop-up events throughout the neighborhood. So there's always something going on in the Vibe District to kind of get you engaged and meeting people. One of the recent favorites is a series called Creative Mornings, where we invite creative entrepreneurs to come and speak over coffee once a month in the morning. And so there's lots of opportunities to come get engaged.
Okay, you mentioned the Old Beach Art and Eco Market. What is that?
Yeah, so artisans, anything handmade, and then also eco-friendly products. Being a resort town, the ocean is very important to us. Clean, environmentally friendly products are critical to sustainability. And so those artists are highlighted alongside eco-friendly businesses in the Art and Eco Market.
Okay, VB Flea is a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's vintage.
Yes.
It's like a vintage market, which if you're looking for something old, which is all new again, you're definitely going to find it there. It's happening the third Saturday of the month.
Yep, over in the alley on 19th Street, right behind WRV, you can find high heels as planners. You can find vintage books, records, clothing,
Yeah.
lots of antiques. It's kind of a picker's playground, we call it. Lots of the funky, cool, odd things.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the youth of today, because what's old is new again.
Correct.
I mean, and if you're older, not old but older, you might go, wow, an Etch a Sketch, or all this really cool, a Slinky, or these old. Pepsi coolers. There's just something really neat about that place, and the vintage clothing is just speaks for itself. Tons of vintage clothing.
Absolutely.
Which,
and the
it never goes out of style when it comes back, right?
Yeah, time to clean out your closets, right? The VB Fleet also welcomes young child entrepreneurs. So you might see little kids selling lemonade, or selling old toys, or even handmade items that they've made, such as, handmade goop or gel. And those students and those young people also get to kind of hang out with the cool kids over at the VB Fleet.
Yeah, there's always live music, and it's sort of a rain or shine sort of event, and it is all surrounded by all the beautiful art there in the Vibe District. So what is the future of the Vibe District? Because it seems to be changing on a regular basis, and I've said this for a while now. I really feel like the Virginia Beach Oceanfront is going through a renaissance right now.
I think you're right.
The Dome area is doing its thing. The Wave Park is incredible. The
Yes.
convention center is better than the old one, and there's the sports complex, which brings thousands of people to our area. And they've yet to break ground on the Loop.
Exactly. Yeah, and don't forget all the amazing festivals that come to the resort. Vibe is often involved in a small way in partnering with some of those festivals like Jackalope, which happens during the VB Street Art Festival, where we align our event in the Vibe with Jackalope that happens down at 31st Street. And student artwork from our VB schools goes on display at Jackalope through a partnership with the Vibe. So we've got student street art displays at the oceanfront. We have 15 artists painting live in the Vibe District. There's always lots of activity. And I think it is a true renaissance. There's been a lot of positive progress in Virginia Beach in the resort area. And 17th Street is under construction right now, so we ask for people's patience, but also please help support our small businesses on 17th Street. When it's over, it will be life-changing to have new, beautiful roads on Virginia Beach Boulevard there, and it's a really critically important project.
Okay, so you mentioned just a couple of events. There's Neptune Festival. There's they open up the beach for Jeep Fest.
Love Jeep Fest.
Right.
Yeah.
There's always live music. I mean, you name it. There's always something going on, and of course, they're going to light up the night there along the boardwalk here shortly. I mean, there's always something going on every single weekend. There's road races. I mean,
yeah, and in 2026, Virginia Beach is bringing a really super exciting event called Supergirl, where it's an all-female driven athletic sports event for young girls and women, and that'll be over Labor Day of 2026. And it's a new event in Virginia Beach that we're excited to partner with, and maybe find some really cool, badass female artists to come and participate in that event as well.
Supergirl, is that an indoor, outdoor, a little bit of everything?
It's
What
going
is
to be
it?
surfing, flag football,
Okay.
soccer, volleyball, all kinds
yeah.
of beach-oriented
A
events.
road
and-
race, I'm sure. A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And it's good that Jackalope's coming back for 3 more years, because come
Absolutely.
on. It's a free event, and it's radical. It's on the beach. I mean, it's
It
it's
is
really one of the coolest.
awe-inspiring.
It's really one of the coolest, newest things that the city of Virginia Beach has done, and they do this for a reason, because we're an outdoor oceanfront area. It is the city of Virginia Beach welcomes everyone, not just tourists, but they want locals to take part in this, and that's part of the reason the Vibe District has been so successful.
Yeah, and action sports in particular, skateboarding, think about back in the 80s and 90s at Mount Trashmore, that's ingrained in who we are. And so I think Virginia Beach has done a great job of celebrating the local arts and culture in the last 10 years, and it's only going to get better.
Well, I just want you to know, thank you for bringing up that, but I'll say back in the 70s, I may have left a little blood on the streets there at Mount Trashmore before the half pipe, and it got a little bit better, because it's come a long way.
It has come a long way, yes.
Well, Kate, listen, thank you so much for joining us here on Life Outdoors and talking about the Vibe District and the beautiful public art that everyone can enjoy. It's such a cool place.
Yes, thank you so much.
And it's only getting better.
Only getting better.
We certainly hope that you take advantage of everything that you see down there, and don't forget to live your life outdoors. And once again, this is sponsored by Ocracoke Tourism Development Authority. Ocracoke, miles from the mainstream. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to live your life outdoors.
Thanks.